the fire. That's the fire. I know that your post is involved. But what's the follow-up process once you're released from the care of your court? I can always go into that. Yeah, you guys now fall. No, you guys now fall within my work, the scope of work. Probably the fire department or the hospital. Questions from colleagues for the student resilience department. You see that all the staff that have raised their hands.
Hi again. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I have a question regarding the homeless population. The warming center, the hotel contract, I believe, comes to an end by April or soon anyway. How are we managing the homeless population? Where will they go once they're out of the hotels? What is, do we have a plan underway to get them some type of housing, et cetera?
If we Chair, I may invite our homeless coordinator up to assist with the response to that. That would be wonderful. Chair, right over here. Name and address for the record, please.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, and all this. Velma George, 347 Mill Rock Road, Hamilton, Connecticut. Okay, so all the trustee asked about the plan. So basically what we do is from the time they come in to the hotels, we start working with them on their exit plan. And so what we've done is offered, we first do assessments with the clients to make sure they have all their documents. And then we also see what options, what possible options they may have. We look at their income, their interest, and we start working with them. They're assigned a case manager. And so right now, what's been happening over the last several months is we've been working with individual clients to each person or couple. And so of course, everyone knows that there's a housing shortage here in the city. But we have a group of this amazing caseworkers that have been so creative in working with our clients to find adequate housing for them. So we've been using a lot of sober housing, rooming houses, and shared living situations. We've also gotten quite a few people into treatment. You know, we have a program that came to us and said they had empty beds, and so we still continue to keep people in beds. But part of we also know, now I'm going to be very honest with you guys. You know, we can lead a horse to water, but we can't make them drink. And so we have some clients that do have income that choose to not use their income for housing. And we have people that say, I'd rather stay in my car if I don't get out. And so that's kind of the realities they're facing. And then others that are grateful for the assistance and offer. We have people that have gotten jobs because in addition to housing, we work with them on getting jobs. There was a company in, I think it's Waterbury, a recycling company that was hiring even people that had no records. So we got people jobs in Waterbury, those that have cars. Also our the different lives and the other parking groups have openings. So we have folks that got employed in specific places. And there were other jobs Amazon, so in addition to housing, we were able to help them with getting employment to be able to improve their living situation. One of our star people, he actually got 2 jobs and a place to live. And so we know that it's possible for people, if they are interested, to dig themselves. So right now, we have folks that are moving into their own places. And then we do have people who are reluctant to go back to because they don't want to use their income to pay for housing.
Thank you for that, Ms. George. I know you have a challenging job trying to keep everyone, and unfortunately, it is the option. So not everyone is going to expect the services provided, and they wish to maintain their normal routine of living in a tent or a garage. So, thank you for that update, though. It's very helpful, and I'm happy to see that we're taking advantage of the department and the services. Thank you.
I saw that Alder Hamilton had a hand raised.
Thank you, Joe.
I hope so, Alder. I hope so, but we do more, we'll be seeking special funding for, or maybe the potential coming back to you, maybe in a couple of years, maybe we need more hands. I think, on the next thing too, that's where we start. The vehicles can, the position, we approve, this is the overall program. For some of the mental health, as the department develops, certainly look at the department. Further questions from the committee?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Could you tell us a little more about the press initiative of small communities?
Absolutely. We are starting a pilot program to demonstrate program bringing together law enforcement, the prevention, project agenda, the hospital-based life prevention, we're bringing partners to the table, have a more coordinated approach, data sync, formally in process of evaluation of the program.
Thank you.
Well, we'll enter further questions from the committee for these folks about partnering with community resilience. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your time. You guys, the 3 items that you spoke about, so done, honestly, it's worth. I thank you for being here. You're not going anywhere. Next on the list is police services. Please operate police department report of street. So you want to or our CEO is coming above. We're getting another share for you. As this group is coming forward, we'll remind everybody, please give names and that. Michael Gorman, 45 Jefferson. All Jacobs, 18 West Liberty Road. All right, thank you, everyone. Starting with slide number 2, which is an overview of the mayor's proposed budget for fiscal year 2022-23. As you can see, the department is increasing its budget by $3.7 million, which includes some personnel and non-personnel adjustments going into next fiscal year. We are increasing the overall FTE count by 2 positions, a lieutenant and a sergeant, which keeps coming as we're getting from the Again, the police department does have special funding, but as most special funds for the city that is grant-based, we do get a few different grants such as JAG, which are the funding grants from the state. So again, that's the estimated number, but of course, when the grant comes in during the next fiscal year, that will be the final number. There is one small license permit and fee change, and we do have a capital designation going into next fiscal year. So I will turn it over to Chief Dominguez to begin to talk about the capital reserve.
Everybody. So for the capital redesignation, we are transferring from the radio fund into the police radios and police equipment. We, back in 2019, we increased this, believing that we were going to have a project that we would be doing. We do not need the funds to further the project, so we do have the ability to move it with the police equipment. However, with that, we will be keeping an amount in police radios that in the event we need something over the next year, that we will have the ability and not have to pull from any other area. Also, we are expecting that piece of it applied to, but if that funding is really we're not awarded that grant, we still have enough funds to be able to do it. Moving on to the next slide here, this is just an overview of our licensing plans. The one change is that photographs of all kinds are now able to be purchased at a $20 fee for every photograph. The next slide is our breakdown of the expenditures. Just want to point out, as you can see, that the 90, so in this graph, 93% is going to personnel and overtime of our budget. The rest is broken out here for you and different ones. Over to sworn budgeted positions. I'm going to go into a little bit more in the slide that follows this. More of an overview. If you just look at the yellow highlight here, it can show over 5 years time the reduction of fully funded sworn positions, and then also I will discuss the request for the addition of the lieutenant and the sergeant. So while attempting to be quick, this is where I will end up spending a little bit of the time here. So for personnel changes, I did a request to add 1 lieutenant position, 1 sergeant position, and 2 positions. So back in 2019, we were, or for many years, we were staffed with 20 lieutenants, we were reduced to 17 lieutenants. During over the past 3 years, we have evaluated our needs and how those affect us on daily operations.
and we have determined that we do need an additional lieutenant. It allows us to do different things. So while one may not seem like a lot currently, when we deploy officers on the 3 shifts, we would like them to be one by a lieutenant, overseeing all of the sergeants. We think that it works better for the span of control. Also, ease of reporting to somebody in the higher rank and for that individual to make decisions based on their rank and on their leadership abilities and just what a lieutenant does for his people. So adding another lieutenant would allow us to properly staff. Additionally, the police accountability bill, the police accountability bill has required us to move forward with CALIA accreditation, and that may need to be run by a lieutenant and or other staff. It is a large project, especially for a large city. That is another option for a lieutenant to move forward with that. For the sergeants, again, we were reduced from 57 to 45 last year. The board had added 2 more to our budget. We were at 47. We still are finding that we are short in the sergeant staff. We are a young department. We have 30 officers in the police academy. Our span of control on the street with sergeants is something that is not where we want to be with best practice. We would like to increase the number so that instead of 1 sergeant, kind of having 20 officers underneath them, 2 sergeants, we now have 10. And it just allows for the sergeants to be able to go to not just critical incidents and major incidents, but to one of the mill calls, just to be checking on the officers, just to be providing some guidance that we know is critical in developing our police officers, and for them to know that somebody is there if they have a question. And I think it just helps our officers to be able to do a better job and also feel supported. And that is something that we want to do. So that is for that additional individual. And again, the Police Accountability Act also with adding a CALIA, and we've always had body cameras, and now we have dash cameras. There's a lot of technology and a lot of maintenance that is required, and we need someone to supervise that. That can't necessarily be an officer, it probably should be a supervisor. So there are other areas in the police department where we have need for an additional supervisor will help us with that as well. Our fingerprint examiner, I just want to explain what that is. It's an individual who has specialized training to the detectives in the field. They lift a fingerprint at a burglary, at a homicide. Then that fingerprint has to be compared. So we're saying, I lifted this fingerprint. I want to see if that's the name is this fingerprint. We have individuals, especially that are able to say, this is not, you don't have to set it up. So what we're looking for is to have that ability to be working in the Bureau of Identification. And we want to properly have oversight by in transparency and control of these individuals by doing it as a person. This would be something that they would work in the detective bureau, and they would only be examining fingerprints. And they would also be helping to train our current staff so that we have sworn personnel that would also be able to do the function. But it is a very long process. It requires a apprenticeship and also requires several years of training. So it is a very long process. Our next slide is regarding the general fund expenditure, the summary of the changes. And what I just want to bring everyone's attention to is the gross overtime budget. We're requesting an increase of 1.6 million in the gross overtime budget, bringing us to 10.5 million for gross overtime. On the next slide, we will go into a little bit more specifics. This is kind of just like a snapshot of what we currently have in the breakdown of the overtime. I'll be glad to obviously answer any questions regarding that. So with this next slide, it goes into a little bit more of a breakdown of where we were fiscal year 18 through 2022 projected. Our current budget is 7 million for this year. Our gross overtime projection is going to be 12.6 million. We do have this year the ARPA reimbursement that was given to us, giving us a net overtime for this year, for fiscal year projected of 2022 to be 9. There are a lot of things that go into our overtime. We are at historic lows for officers. We went back and this is nothing new to the board, I understand, but we look back at 30 years of data. And we are the lowest in 30 years for officers. We currently have 336 sworn officers, but I want to say to you is that 30 of those are in the police academy. So I currently have 306. So I'm down 102 spots for sworn police officers, and that is our lowest for 30 years. So when the numbers drop, in order for us to properly staff, to answer 911 calls in a way, to be able to provide the services that we is wanting and deserves, it causes overtime. So as our numbers go down, our overtime goes up. With that said, the light is there are 30 individuals in the police academy, hopefully 3 more that will be starting April 11th. And then we will continue to move with adding classes to better staff the department. And we are hoping to be able to do 2 academies. So while 30 have not been in New Haven's academy, we have academy to utilize all the resources we have by sending our individuals to other police academies as we're able to hire them. So we did not want to have to wait to know that the sooner they can enter the academy, the sooner they can exit the academy, and then they can do with their training so that they can make an impact in the overtime and in the in our staff. Next one. So this is a summary of non-personnel changes. I want to highlight three of the bigger items here. The second bullet is a $25,000 increase for contractual services, administration for other contractual services, where we know that price increases for drug tests as required by the police accountability and union contract. So it's requiring mental health checks, requiring at certification officers have to go for drug tests and check steroids. These are all things we haven't had to do in the past that we now have to do, so we're budgeting appropriately for these. And this will also go, any CALEA accreditation fees will come out of this line as well. The next line, the 90,000 for central services, other contractual. This is also where we're funding the 2 academy classes, which is the pre-employment polygraph testing, the psychological assessment. So we're looking to increase those as well, having more than 30. And even though we run our own academy class, the other academy classes that we do send individuals to post, Milford, we have individuals in Waterbury, they do charge us. So that those fees for us to send our officers to the other academy is factored into this. 70,000 for vehicle repairs and maintenance. This is due to some of the increased costs with COVID. So costs for parts are going up. Also, we're obviously fixing and doing our own work on the vehicles, and we're not getting vehicles in due to supply costs. So what our garage has said is they're seeing anywhere from a 50% increase on parts. So we are factoring that into the vehicle maintenance and cost for repairs due to supply shortages and COVID concerns. We do see about 5 to 7 vehicles a year which are involved in car accidents. That's just kind of looking overall. Obviously, that waxes and wanes, per year, but we just look at it in overall chunk of time what we do lose overall for vehicles, but minor collisions we're able to. We want to be able to fix it. And then the final piece here, $10,000 for the winter for firing range repairs and maintenance. So when we have the firing range, it's indoors. We have certain requirements so that the lead levels are not dangerous to the individuals who are working in there, the instructors, and also to our members who are qualifying. In the past, we used an individual who has since retired. No one has taken over his business, so he did it by hand. Now the new vendor is industry standards, and they have machines. So that is why we're seeing the increase. It's something that has to be done, and we lost an individual that we were using for many years. And then finally, just a quick summary. as to what we talked about. It's the proposed adding the one lieutenant, the one sergeant, the two fingerprint scanners, while being able to maintain funding so that we can implement our new cadet program, that we've talked about numerous times, and any part-time help, temporary help. We expect to have enough vacant positions, which we currently do now, to be able to continue to have 2 police academies. And that would be a cycle to be able to have more officers come in that are retiring. Increasing funding for police youth activities, to supplement work that's being done by PAL, because the PALs are 501(c)(3) already, so just give us more funding there. And then centering around self-assessment and assessment phases of police. So that is an act that we need to be in compliance by 2025. So that's a very long process that we have to start now. There's multiple phases, and it will take a department our size several years to be able to get full credit. And with that, my last question.